Alright, what's going on, guys? This is Cole, aka Proximitty, bringing you a brand new video today. Today I just wanted to kind of cover some communication tips, kind of like calling out tips, just, a few tips I can give to, people that are interested in looking to play with a team more, or just being a better team player. Just things that you might want to look out for, things you might want to try to avoid saying, if you're trying to communicate with your teammates, just like good information versus bad information, kind of just running on a few tips, kind of like, give examples of both. But if you guys don't know what calling out is, it's basically just kind of like letting your fellow teammates know what's going on in the game from your perspective at the time. If I see somebody across the map over there, which is blue elbow, this back spot, that would be called blue elbow. If I see a kid blue elbow, I would say, hey, I see, one blue elbow. Like, I would kind of say that. And then my teammates then know that there's one blue elbow, which is like, that's valuable information, especially in 4v4 competitive gameplay. You'll see all the pros doing it at all times. Just, letting people know what's going on, making sure they're communicating. That's a really important part of the game, especially if you want to take it to the next level. So the most important thing, the first thing is you need to know the callouts for all maps. Now, Halo 5, and I think that started in Halo Reach actually, but it made it very easy for you. If you look in the very bottom left of your screen there, when you get to a dark spot so you can see it, it says red base. I'm standing in the red base right now. That is the callout for this area. And if I move over here, it changes to red elbow. So now, as you see, it's very easy to know all the callouts at all times. If you pay attention, you start looking now. This is called red pillar. I don't know. I've never known that. But so, if you pay attention, you start looking at those at all times. You'll start getting that information. You just easily remember. They'll call us for every map. It doesn't take long. It's pretty easy, I feel like. I've been playing competitive games. I started learning callouts in Halo 3, and every title I played in between, including CODs, I've learned every single callout, and I never forget them. Whenever I go back to play the games, I always remember them. So it's pretty easy to remember. Make sure you learn those. But another thing you need to know is the actual, what people call them, because this is called red base, but I think most people refer to this area as red flag, because in Capture the Flag, this is where the flag would spawn. Likewise, this is called oven, I believe. The game, they call it oven, but most people refer to this as red fountain, and the other side blue fountain. So that's just something you want to make sure you're paying attention to. Listen to what other people are calling it, because not everybody uses the 343 callouts. Most people actually don't, from my experiences. Some people do for certain parts. Like this red slide, I call this red street. Everybody I know calls this red street. That would be blue street. This is not yellow tower. This is on rockets. Rockets, top rockets. Bottom rockets would be beneath this, and then, bottom mid, things like that. It's pretty easy to learn the callouts. You can probably assume you can figure out what people are talking about most of the time, even if they're not using the 343 ones. But that's the first thing you want to do. You want to make sure you're getting down, learning the callouts, and making it a point to call them out to your teammates. Now, whether you're playing with a group of 4, just one, maybe you're just playing with one of your friends, maybe you're playing with just random people and they're in game chat, that's fine. Just try to get in the practice of communicating and being a good communicator. So things to look out for to become a good communicator. I'm in this game by myself right now, but if I saw somebody, a blue window, that's called blue bridge, I suppose. We call it blue window. If I saw a kid blue window, and I know some people start shooting, they would see the kid, and then they'd start shooting at him, and then oh, okay, let's say that kid backed off, he got weak and went back to their DMR or something, and then I was like, oh, he's gonna peek? Nah, he's not going to. And then I'd be like, oh, hey guys, there's one blue window. So now at this point, nobody can help me because that kid's already ran away. And if you went back to DMR, I could even be like, hey guys, there's one blue DMR, which is okay, that's good information. It's good to know that there's one blue DMR. But at that point, that kid is in cover because just like red DMR, blue DMR is the opposite. He's here. He's in this corner. You can't hit him from anywhere, but fountain, you can't really get a nade in there on him. Somebody could come up from elbow maybe and get a shot, but that's too late. Something that's not easy to do necessarily. It takes some practice. If you can do it, it's definitely a better way to communicate. If you can do it, I know I do. The moment I see somebody, I always call them out. I call them out immediately when I see them. I'm like, if I see a guy blue window, I'll say blue window, and then I'll start shooting at them. Because that way, if I had a teammate that was over here at my BR, let's say he was at red BR, and let's just say he was looking fountain for whatever reason, just for this scenario. He's looking fountain, and he doesn't quite see anything. And he hears that I say blue window. He can turn, and now he's got a perfect angle. And now he's going to be able to help me put shots on that kid. Regardless whether or not I was going to die, he might be able to save me. Let's say I was getting shots, I was shots down, and that kid put pressure on me. He might be able to help clean that kill up. And then the opposite, maybe I was winning that fight, but he could just put that final burst on him and kill him. That's an important thing. So if you can call out immediately as opposed to calling out after you're done with that engagement, that's definitely beneficial. And I do that if I see multiple people, if I see like if I saw out of the corner of my eye here, let's say I was here, okay, and I see this kid blue window, and I see a guy go from blue elbow back to flag, I'd call out that guy blue flag as well. I mean, I'd prioritize this call out first, but I would go, there's one blue window, there's one go back to blue flag from elbow. You know, like, that's like kind of, you know, you have to be quick and you have to be able to communicate all that. But that's like, I've been doing this for years and, you know, communicating a lot. So I'm really used to it, and I just kind of how I play, I always call out. But that's like things you want to do. You want to relate all the information, you know. You know, if you see that guy, don't not call him out. You know, you never want to see somebody and not call him out if you want to be a good communicator. You know, you can prioritize certain callouts, like the person you're shooting at, or a person that's one shot. But, you know, you definitely want to mention everything that you saw. Even if it's a little bit late, it's still good to know. Like, you could say, and I know there's one blue flag. You know, it could be vague, but that's still better information. Because if we know where 3 are and we don't know where the 4th is, and you say, well, I saw him blue flag, then you know he's not up here on top rockets or anything like that. You know, another good tip I can give about making sure that you're calling out properly, if I saw somebody here, red flag, or let's say he's red cave there, and I put 2 on him with a BR, and he backed off. And I'm going to throw a nade, you know, hopefully that'll get him. You know, okay, it doesn't. Let's just say I needed to move somewhere else. Let's just say I didn't. I would say 2 on red cave. And 2 on would mean that I've shot him twice. So now if my teammates were in a position to challenge him, let's say there was one of my teammates red fountain, he now knows that he could probably win this challenge if he's full shields because the enemy only has 2, he's half shields. Or he's less than half shields, so I'm with using the BR. So you want to make sure that you're calling out how many shots you put on somebody. You want to make sure you're calling out, you know, anything that you do to that person. If you get them weak, let's, like, the best way I can do, like, give an example here. If I just hit him once or twice, oftentimes I'll just say weak, which just, you know, just gives the implication that if you challenge, so long as you hit your shots, you should win. You know, he's got to hit full 5 on you. You only have to hit 2 or 3. If he's 2 shot, I'll call out 2 shot. If he's 1 shot, I will most definitely call out 1 shot. You need to be in the practice of doing that as well. If you've popped their shields and they have no shields left, make sure you're calling out that the person's 1 shot because then your teammate knows that he can challenge and he's just got to land 1 headshot. That's definitely good for the confidence of challenging. You want to make sure you're mentioning all that information. You don't want to leave anything like that out. That's super, super important. You know, how many shields? You can call it full shields. Honestly, most of the time, because my team, the people I play with, we always call out if they're weak. If you don't say that they're weak, you can just assume that they aren't. So that's, you know, always good information to have. Another thing, I just picked up this power weapon here because this is a good, you know, good thing you want to mention. If you're going to call out where power weapons die, like if I had sniper here, you don't want the enemy to have the sniper. So let's just say I shot it off, I have 1 bullet, all right, and then I died. Let's just say I died and it fell right there. I died red fountain. And I'll say snipe my X, snipe my X. I'll say there's 1 bullet in it, needs to be reloaded, okay? Or I'll just say there's 1 bullet in it. I'll let my teammates know that because if they're going to make a push for it and they're going to try to recover the snipe, I'll also mention how much ammo's in there. You know, there's a lot of ammo. It's definitely worth grabbing. You know, they can make a move for it, and they now know that it's definitely something valuable. They're definitely something they want to grab. If there was only 1 bullet left in it altogether, let's say this is the last shot in the snipe, and I dropped it. That's still a valuable weapon, but I would say 1 bullet left. Like, that makes it, like, in my mind, as a player, if I know that's like a full snipe, I definitely want that in my team's hands. But I know that, like, if I have to give up the snipe to the enemy team with only 1 bullet, then I'll let that slide. You know, like, I'm not going to die, I'm not going to sacrifice to death trying to push for a sniper which only has 1 shot. So, like, you know, that's information I could leave for people. Like, that's last bullet. There's only 1 bullet left. Like, I would say, like, don't worry about it. Don't make it a priority. You know, if you want to go get it, that's great, but don't, like, stop what you're doing to go try to save the sniper with only 1 bullet. You know, that's not super, super important, and I wouldn't worry about it too much. So, like, all these things that I'm telling you are, like, just good things, like, besides just doing basic callouts and just saying, like, there's 1 red elbow. So, like, if I say, there's 1 red elbow, he's got a snipe, now my teammates know they shouldn't challenge from a distance because the sniper has a better advantage on him. If he has a DMR, I will say he has a DMR. If he has a BR, I will say he has a BR. I'll let everybody know everything at all times. And another really good thing, and this is something that people never do it, people always seem to dump the rockets before they die, but let's say they were needed to be reloaded, I shot off 2 and I died, I will call out, rockets need to be reloaded. Like, rockets my X, they need to be reloaded. Or rockets my X, 1 in the clip. And the reason why is because if you're making a play on rockets, very obviously, you can dive on them. Say this guy blue cave, rockets are there, teammate died. I can grab these and challenge. But if they need to be reloaded, I would die there because I would pick them up and I just jumped out in the open with empty rockets. So that's, you know, extra information that I can give. Things like those need to be reloaded. Don't make that sort of play because, you never know where the person's mind's going to go, so you're going to try to help them out as much as absolutely possible by saying things like they need to be reloaded, or, or they're fully loaded, two in the clip. All that's valuable information. That's all things you should be relaying to your teammates. And one, the last big tip I think I can give about calling out, you also need to call out what you're doing so your teammates know what's going on. Your teammates are going to know where you are if they're looking at your name above your head. But if you're behind them, for example, if I'm looking here, I can't see what's behind me. So my teammate's back at Red Cave, I wouldn't know that. Letting your teammates know where you are and where you spawn at all times. So if you're at the point where you're, a high-level player and you're understanding how the spawn system works, calling out where you spawn is important because you can call out where you spawn. That can help give some, information on where they are, where the enemy team is. If I spawn here at elbow, it's safe to assume there's a lot of negative spawn influence on the fountain side. Let's say I was playing capture the flag. There's really two main spawn points here and there. If I call out that I spawned elbow, I'll probably know that. If I'm a high-level player, I'll probably know where I'm going to spawn anyways. But in case I don't, let's just say I call it out. I spawn here. I say, I spawned elbow. Now you know that they're pressuring that side. So now we know that if our teammates are spawning at red elbow, that they're pushing the sniper side of the map and they're pushing into our fountain. So that's all information that we can give to our teammates, as well as things like I'm going bottom nade, I'm going our nades, or I'm going bottom red, whatever you want to call it. I'm going up to rockets. I'm diving on rockets. Calling those things out, making sure that things are prioritized, like, hey, rockets are up in 15 seconds. Who's there for them? Hey, I'm here for them. I'm on Red Street. That's a call out. That's a call out, giving information to your teammates. Those are all things you want to do. So making sure that you're calling out what you're doing at all times and not being running off doing your own thing, because you need to let your teammates know what you're doing so they know what's up. They know where you are at all times. They know where they could be so you could help them. And then also they can keep you in check. If you say something like, oh, I don't know, let's say we're 3 on defense right here, and I'm like, oh, I'm going blue cave. And they're like, why? Why are you doing that? We're all back trying to defend our flag. What are you doing? I would turn around because I'm like, oh, I'm doing a really stupid thing. But see, I know that I'm doing a stupid thing because I said that, and they know what I'm doing. So that's, another big tip I can give is make sure that, you're explaining what you're doing at all times. I'm always talking when I'm playing. I'm letting people know where I am, what I'm doing. I call everything out. I call out and I'm picking up a BR most of the time. I call pretty much everything out. I'm going to show a couple of gameplay examples here, of that sort of thing, so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. But the last thing that I really want to touch on, and this is something that, this is a huge thing that has to do with calling out. It's so frustrating. And it's understandable, but basically, try not to complain. If you have your mic on and you're able to communicate with your teammates, make sure you're communicating with your teammates information they need to know, information that will benefit them. Let's say this guy's camping here at flag, and I'm coming in from elbow, and I'm trying to grab flag. This guy comes on the corner and just scatter shots me, and I just sit there and I bitch about the fact that I got scatter shot. I'm like, this guy's camping in the back. He's being he's playing like a pussy. I don't know. He's just this guy's camping in the back, dude. He's not challenging me with a good gun, dude. He's playing with a shotgun. Okay, so I called out as a shotgun. That's a good call out. But the way I did it is completely terrible. And I'm not saying that you can avoid this all times. It happens. I do it. Sometimes people get frustrated. I get that. I'm not going to say anybody's perfect. But try to avoid doing this because you are going to hurt your team. The time you spend sitting there bitching about the fact that you got killed by a shotgun is time spent that they could have information and then base a play off of it. If what you should call out is once Campy back their flag, he's using a shotgun. That's not easy to do. Getting killed by scumbag weapons isn't fun. Getting killed by a scumbag player. Players, sometimes it's not scumbag, sometimes it's just being smart. But, things like that. Making sure you're being smart, making sure you're explaining your call-outs properly. If I get killed by that guy, first thing I should do is just be like, hey, there's a guy in the back camping on the shotgun. Not, oh my god, this kid's playing like a faggot and he's camping in the back or the shotgun. Because at that point, call us late. If somebody was right behind me, they might be able to, turn around and they'll approach it knowing that he has a shotgun. It's important you mention he has a shotgun because if not, they might be like, oh, well, come up for a melee and then they'll get shotgun. So that's important, making sure you're prioritizing positive call-outs, trying to stay calm. It's not easy. Composure is important because your call-outs need to be precise and quick. You don't need to be sitting there complaining for 5 seconds and then calling out. So try not to complain. Try not to complain in your mic at all, because that's just going to make your communication stuffy. You know, if you have 4 people talking at all times, you know, you also have to practice listening to callouts and, like, you know, picking up on them quickly, but that'll come with time. But, you know, you don't want somebody in your ear just complaining the whole time. That's annoying, and that just crowds your callouts. So try to avoid doing that. I'm going to play a nice little gameplay here, guys. Just some regular, you know, gameplay of us playing, so you can kind of hear just, you know, callouts from my team. You can just hear us talking in game, and, you know, get kind of the idea of what I'm talking about. You'll see what I'm talking about when I'm saying I call everything out. You know, I hope this helps. I hope this helps you become a better communicator. Make sure you're learning the callouts and just prioritizing the right thing to say. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I won't see you guys after the gameplay, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one.
P1, red P1 tree. P1, jump P1.
One's bottom red, one's bottom red.
Blue bubble, blue bubble.
Two on me, guys, 2 on me. I need help.
P2, red, bottom red, bottom red. P2 hiding in the corner. I got you, Cole. P2 hiding in the corner. No one here.
P2's going RP street, RP street, RP street.
What? Okay, top.
Got him, I got him. P2 got me, P2 got me.
Blue bubble. Blue bubble.
Yeah, we're good, guys, we're good. We're still up at 3. Just make sure we're all relaxed. I'm here, Justin, I'm here with you. I'm pushing through across the other side. One's here, go in their bubble. He's one shot, Nice, Justin, good help, get up. Nading P2. One's top blue flag, Justin. Top blue flag's got a shot. And then Nate P2 weak.
He's peeking out. I got a shot on him.
Blue attic, one shot, two shot maybe.
P street.
I can make a jump. I'm weak.
P2.
P2. Top blue.
P2 weak. One shot top mid. They got me. I don't know where I got killed from.
Top mid's one. Nice.
Nice, Justin. You're good, Justin. Not coming car. You're good.
There should have been one here.
Ready to, that's alright. Yeah, ready to. No kills, no deaths.
We can still win this game. Guys. Yeah, no deaths.
One's
Everybody, Dallas, come back.
I had a trade.
Behind Seth.